Mm.
And we're live.
Hello. Welcome, you guys. Happy Wednesday. We're so excited to come in. We got through our technical glitches as usual. So, welcome to the Rising She Spotlight series, your space for a weekly Wednesday night woo-woo wisdom from guest speakers all over the world. So tonight, so excited, you guys, we have Yvonne Lester with us. She's always in and about in our tribe. So you guys might have seen her like here and there. So it's really cool to be able to like get to know you more personally. Yvonne is an intuitive reader, light worker, spiritual love coach, and wellness advocate. She teaches women how to increase self-love, self-awareness, and self-worth. And like we are all about that in this tribe. So thank you so much for being here, Yvonne. We're so excited to chat with you tonight.
Hi.
We are super excited. So, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Sorry if you can see two of me. It's because I'm in a hotel room and I have to be on my computer and my phone to
You
get
should be like, you're welcome because you can see two of me.
So, okay. So, Yvonne, we love asking this question of all of our people that come on our podcast. And so we can't wait to hear your answer. So, what do you love about being a woman?
What do I love about being a woman?
Mm-hmm.
The ability to just can I curse on here?
Yeah.
The ability to just get shit done. Like, women are awesome. We no matter how rough it is, no matter how sick we are, we can just keep going and going and going. That's what I love about being a woman.
That's so true. We don't get sick days. I always say that as
No.
a mom, you never get a sick day. So it really sucks to be sick because you don't get to just lay in bed and get better. You still have to like keep getting this shit done. And it sucks because you're sick.
Yeah. It just happened to me just last week, so that's why. That's
Yes. You still are expected to like fully function.
Yep.
Well, we are all about self-care in this tribe, and I know that's a big part of what you can come in and kind of talk about and teach, and probably what you implement with your clients. So, can you tell us how self-care has an impact on your life and the women that you serve?
Hey, well, self-care for me was pretty rough. I mean, like I said, we're so used to taking care of everybody else. That's how I was. I'm so used to taking care of everybody else, my kids, my husband, the house. You just forget to bring time to yourself. And that was one of the hardest things I had to learn to do, was to, you know what, Yvonne, you have to stop and you have to take care of yourself. And just, it's a process. And even then, me who is teaching it, I'm still learning how to do it on my own. So it's been a journey. But one thing that I have been called to is to share that with other people, like what has worked for me, what continues to work for me, and how you can bring it into your life, not only personally, but into your business or whatever you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times when we are in that like teaching mode, we encourage the people that we are like leading and teaching to do all of these things, and then we stop. We forget to stop and come back to ourselves and give it to ourselves
Yeah.
and practice what we preach. So yeah, I think that's super amazing. And then moms feel guilty, not moms, but women in general, we feel guilty about spoiling ourselves and doing that extra stuff for ourselves because we have to like go give to everybody else, take care of everybody else. It's our job that's fulfilling us and all that. And it's like we feel that guilt, like, oh, if I go take this 30 minutes to myself, I should be doing something else. I should be interacting with my kids right now, and all these like should be's. And
Well, you
yeah.
second guess yourself. You second guess yourself. So it's like I used to do that, and it's still a process with me, but I've been, it's something that I've done continuously throughout the years. Is just like second guess myself, like, should I do this? Should I not? So I'll add something. For example, I would add something to my Amazon cart. I would have like hundreds of things there, and
Yes.
it's like, should I buy this for myself? Should I not? And I'll keep revisiting the Amazon cart, and then I would end up saving for later, like almost every item because
Yes, because you're like, oh, I should get my kids this, or I should spend money
exactly,
on this. Everything except for us is where we see it
exactly.
spending the money. Totally get
Yeah,
that.
I can totally get that too. And, not only that, I mean, you're a mother and an entrepreneur on top of that. So, trying to find self-care time can be really hard in between that, but it is really important, not only to be as an entrepreneur to serve your clients, but to also serve your family and the way that you need to. So, I mean, it's definitely not selfish to take care of yourself. I think a
Yeah,
lot of people struggle with that. They feel like they're being selfish by needing to go get this massage or take a bath by themselves or whatever it is, when really it's like it's so needed. So yeah, I love that. So another great question: what's something you passionately believe in that the majority of people wouldn't believe in or agree with?
probably my journey now. I would
Mm,
say my spiritual journey has been like all over the place, and I think not many people can relate to that, or not many people will see that. And you know what? I have grown to be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I cannot express how it's not important. It's not an important factor. If I'm on my journey, it's my journey. If you're on your journey, it's your journey. Not I'm not gonna, find what you find okay to do, okay for me to do. So, I know a lot of people look at my journey like, wait, wasn't she a church girl like a few years ago? Like what is she doing now? And I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with
It's so good. It's such a
yeah,
really good place to go to when you don't give a crap what anybody else thinks about your journey. And it's so personal and good and uplifting to you that you can just celebrate it. And the family that's like, oh, you need to go to church, you need to do this and that. Well, no, that's for
that.
them. That's for them.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
it's so nice to stop caring.
yeah. Have you? I mean, I think a lot of us. I think it's pretty common for people that kind of go on this awakening journey and they're kind of dipping their toes into spirituality and it's a little bit outside the norm. Get some, I don't know, feedback, but not necessarily good feedback on what we're doing. Have you encountered that in your journey, as far as people just not understanding or being like, why are you doing that? Like, that's the devil stuff.
You're a witch, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not yet. Not
Nice.
yet.
You are
Not yet.
lucky. You're
Well,
lucky,
that's good.
girl.
I know. I'm very one of a few, but you know why? And you being an intuitive person and being just how I can feel things, I can kind of know like when people are like, wait, like what are you doing? Like what is that? Like that's weird. And you know what? I still don't care. I'm still bursting out of that bubble and still trying to, make my mark on the world. That's what my plan is to make my mark on the world, and nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that.
such a beautiful plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So So we have a lot of female entrepreneurs in this group. It tends to be what we kind of attract into this space if you kind of look at like the higher percentage of women that come in here. And as a female entrepreneur in the spiritual world, can we talk about valuing your work? Because I think it's very true that when we step into this place of doing healing and spiritual, just coaching and things like that, that sometimes a lot of people won't put the right value on that. There's a lot of healers out there that either think that it's a bad exchange, money for spiritual healing or things like that, and they have it kind of all wrong, and they end up not even being able to like really live into their purpose of being a healer and a guide and a teacher, because they can't make ends meet, because they're not willing to charge the money to fully step into that space. So I guess like any advice that you have about really valuing yourself and having that good energy exchange between money and service.
You've asked the right person. I just went through that. It was hard to kind of blend the two together. And I had an awesome friend of mine. Her name is Maria, and she helped me helped me realize that, hey, you have to eat too. Just because you have a gift doesn't mean you cannot charge for it. Doesn't mean you have to share it, you know, and just get nothing in return, because you're teaching the other person how to look into themselves. And that was really hard for me to do, was to accept that, hey, you're going to have to charge, you know, for your services.
Yeah, that is true. I think it's like one of those things is like, because I know I love being a healer myself and I love the work that I do. So of course I would do this work for free if I could, and feed my family and, you know, pay my bills and find the freedom that I want for my family financially. But it's like finding that balance of knowing how much energy I'm putting into my work with my clients and how much energy we're putting into our students as a whole for all three of us. You know, it doesn't feel right if there's not an energetic exchange that is equal, you know what I mean? Time for time, if that makes sense. But it's so good. And yeah, I love that you've just had that revelation, because I think it's really, really important.
Yeah, and one thing also that you have to accept is if it's truly your life purpose, like that's what you found yourself, that, you know, you're supposed to be doing. Like me, it's a healer or a leader, and I'm supposed to share what I, you know, my knowledge with the world. Then I have to kind of accept that, you know, stop worrying about where the next dollar is going to come from. Because if now we're just going to keep worrying about, oh, where am I going to, you know, find the money to go grocery shopping? Where am I going to find the money to put gas in my car? Where am I going to find money to put, you know, to put in a bank to pay my bills? If we keep worrying about that, we're never going to get through, you know, get to our life purpose.
Yeah.
That's something I'm still struggling with, but it's something that, you know, eventually I'm going to have to, you know, give up and just learn to just
allow.
Surrender. We really love that word surrender this year so far. Surrender and let go.
My favorite word this year.
I bailed on you guys. My little boy lost his tooth, so he was freaking out. It's been loose for days and days and days. We've been waiting for it to fall out. He was sure it was never going to fall out. And like they all come barreling in here like, oh my God, the tooth fell out. And he's like, and I'm like, okay. Anyway. So
I did a live on that on the art of surrendering. And it was something that I didn't even know the meaning of the word surrender until that live.
I think sometimes it gets a bad rap. I think sometimes it gets the word or gets the intention that it means giving up. When you surrender, you give up. But if you can really shift your perception and you're like, no, you're finally surrendering and letting go so that everything can flow in the way that it's supposed to. You let go of that tight grasp of like, where's the next thing going to come from? And completely surrender so that it can come. So beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It really is. So, okay. So we kind of want to know what's coming up for you. So we love asking this question as well. I think I say this with like every question. I love asking this question. I love asking this question too. But what's your next right move?
My next right move is like I think I pretty touched a little bit on that. Is I've been pushed to start a self-care program, and that's what I'm going to do. Sharing, sharing 4 major areas that we technically just disregard and not find important in self-care, because it's more than just loving yourself. It's about taking care of yourself, not just your wants, but your needs. Like, what do you really need to do?
Do you think it's going to incorporate a lot of like spiritual self-care, like a little bit of like outward and inner care? Yes,
so would.
Oh, so
I
good.
love that. Yeah, I think that's really important. Like the needs, it's not just the desires and the wants, it's the needs that you truly need to have in your life to be operating at like 100%, you know, and feeling like fulfilled in your life. And I think that looks a little bit different with everybody, but I think that's such a great thing to do, because I think we get so caught up in like the desires and, you know, the wants, but it's like, what do you truly need to be happy, you know? And I think that comes in relationships too. And like my husband and I did this really cool, like, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of like a ritual where it was like we each told each other like what we needed out of that relationship, or what we needed to like feel loved or whole or whatever that was like. And then the other person has to reflect that back, so we know that we're both listening. But that, like, that's a really cool thing to do, I think, because
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you could even do it with yourself. I mean, honestly, like you could do it like in the mirror and be like, "Okay, Rosemary, this is what you need," and then like repeat it back to yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So caught up in our head, you know what I mean? Like to have that relationship with yourself, because it's so important, you know. And I think we put it off a lot.
Yep, we do.
Yeah.
Agreed. So you are an entrepreneur. Talked about that. So do you have any tips that you can give to some of these women that are just starting out? Maybe they kind of know their purpose, or maybe they're starting to figure it out and they're feeling that nudge to do something different and put something together because they want to serve in some way. If you had any like advice or tips as to just anything that would further them along in their path getting started.
Be patient and be faithful. Patient, because you're not going to know off the top of your head like what your purpose is. You may think it's something, but it's totally the opposite.
It changes as you grow.
You know, before this, I was into makeup. I was selling makeup. And I thought that was one thing that, you know, it was a way to find myself. It wasn't. I was still lost. I was still empty, you know, with myself. And now that after I started my spiritual journey, this is where I'm supposed to be. I kept hearing the word love. I kept hearing the word goddess. I kept hearing the word leader. I kept hearing all these wonderful words, and look where I'm at now. You know, you can't just expect your journey to be the same as anyone else's either. Because if you keep looking at someone else and saying, "Oh, I want to do what she's doing," or "I wanna start what she's doing," you're still gonna be lost. Just focus on yourself, and it will find you. It will find you.
Such good advice. We've touched on that. That's come up for us lately too, talking to people about not getting in that comparison mode. Stop following all of your gurus up there and start building on your own. Start doing your own thing. And just, so good. And being patient. Yeah. That is cute.
I love that. I just wanted to look at some of the comments. I totally I forgot about that, because normally I'm on my phone like looking at comments. Bianca says, yes, oh my God, I went through this at the start of my biz too. I think that she was assuming talking about the healer and the exchange of money. So I think a lot of us kind of go through that, because it's like, you know, you love what you're doing and you're so excited and you want to like get out there, but you don't, you know, but you also want to make that exchange is there. And Heather said, money is super personal. It has to feel 100% right to you. When you find the right method of payment, it will click and things will blossom.
Yeah.
I really like that too.
Yeah.
And then Bianca also said, such a great point, wants versus needs, which is a really good point too. And then Bianca said, also focus on yourself and it will find you. Be patient. So good, Eve, she said. Yes, I love that. So good. So we want to thank you so much for being on the podcast, Rising She Podcast. Yes, and I know we see you a lot in the group, so honestly, we are honored and so privileged to have you here. So please continue to, you know,
hang out with us.
Our little tribe. But we want to let the ladies know and hear how they can find you, what you have coming up, if you have a website, you know, social media sites, anything like that.
You can find me, of course, on my personal page. I guess I will comment down below my Linktree link, because that's where I list all of my links where you can find me. I have a blog, I have a group, I have a podcast that I'm still trying to redabble in. I share a lot on Instagram, so, you know, I'm everywhere.
You do quite a bit of readings too. I was looking through your website, and you do you do different kinds of readings, which is really cool. It seems like you have different little things that you incorporate with your readings. I guess it's specific to the needs of the person that comes in.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
What kind of readings do you do?
I do full moon and new moon readings. I do personal readings. I kind of, I guess, asked a person before, like exactly what they're looking for, and then I will kind of tailor the reading towards their needs instead of their ones.
So good. Well, and I'm just gonna say, I personally think anybody that is about to become a spiritual entrepreneur or is ready to step into that space, you need a self-care regimen before you even start. Like already set that as part of like your game plan. Your business game plan needs to include self-care. Don't wait till the burnout happens to be like, okay, now I got to take a break. Like just start doing it now, you know? And so, yeah, reach out to Yvonne so that she can share with you guys how to love yourself. So thank you again for joining us. It's been like really beautiful to have you in this space and getting to know you a lot better. It's been very cool. Yeah. So everybody be sure to tune in every Wednesday night for your weekly woo-woo wisdom, and we will see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.